Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to be going into environmental science here, and we're going to be debunking like I'm going to try to debunk like all of it in one go. All right? Now, I don't know that much about environmental science, but I know it's one of like I've done so many of these scientific investigations and I waste so much time doing them. And then like when I get to the bottom of all the science, it ends up being exactly the way I thought it was in the very beginning, and it was a total waste of time. So, I'm just going to say we're just going to be lazy and just use AI for all this. I think these are not controversial claims at all. These are all things that environmental science clearly says. Okay, so let's get into this. And the first thing is like the top science guy is David Suzuki. Okay, he's like the number one most prominent environmental scientist, and the dude is literally pantheist. He says statements like, "When you do any damage to the earth, it's the same as the earth and you are one, and you're damaging yourself." So like if you this is kind of a logical extension of that. If you boil water, that's like boiling yourself. It's so ridiculous. Anyways, it's literally religion, right? It's literally Native American religion. And this stuff definitely does actually make it into the science and define the science, okay? So let's look at some of these theories, okay? So one theory is keystone predation. This is a big theory in environmental science. It says that if you remove a single nasty predator from an environment, the entire ecosystem collapses. So if you take wolves out of your park so it's safe and fun for you and your kids, then everything dies. All the deer will die. The deer will overpopulate. Blah 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 blah. Everything catastrophe, right? The only problem with that is it's just not true, and you can just look with your own eyes and see it's not true. Okay, so in a city, let's look at this city for example. Okay, every single keystone predator is removed in the city. There's no bears. There's no cougars. There's no wolves. Every keystone predator is removed. Anyways, this whole idea of keystone predation, like just look at a city. It's obviously not true. We don't have environmental catastrophe. Yes, there's some problems, but it's very far from a catastrophe. It's not like the deer and the rabbit are all cannibalizing each other, and like the rabbits are just overbreeding, and there's 100 rabbits everywhere you step. This stuff just doesn't happen. Okay, nature is flexible to an extent. All right, nature has to have some flexibility. If it had no flexibility, then as soon as like it's a warm day or a cold day, or as soon as there's any natural variance, everything would die, right? So all of it's, this whole keystone predation thing it's all just environmental conservation and activism masquerading as science. Okay, here's another example. Bear mongering. Okay, this is a big thing, especially in Canada. The bear is the almighty sacred god. It's invincible. If you blast it with a shotgun, it just bounces right off. You can't kill a bear with a gun. Bear cannot be defeated under any circumstance, and bears own everything. Okay, if you ask people where is the bear territory, where is the human territory, they'll show you everywhere in nature belongs to bears and some of the city. So bears own 99.999% of the world, and if you trespass into the bear territory, then the bear has a legal right to shoot you or eat you, I suppose, right? Okay, that's really silly, stupid stuff, I think, and obviously, like in a sensible mind, I think humans would realize that yes, the environment has value, but it doesn't have more value than human life, right? But in the environmental mindset, animals definitely do matter more than humans, and they have this really irrational way of thinking where they don't consider themselves to be a human, right? Okay, next thing, irrational. Water conservation. This is a big thing that's popping up. Every time I go to like Banff or, I see these water restrictions. They put them in Calgary all the time. They say the pipes are broken, so we have to conserve water. But then when the pipes are fine, they say, oh, you have to conserve water anyways. They're saying this should be the new norm, and all this. So you go to Banff, they have all these things. It's like, don't run the sink for more than 1 second. Water conservation, such a big issue. Canada has the most clean drinking water of any country on the planet. We have to urgently conserve water or we're all going to die, right? And this is another one that's just like, okay, so I mean, I'm quoting David Suzuki's blog here. It says that water is a non-renewable resource, We have a finite amount of water. This just like contradicts like middle school science. Okay, when you learn about the water cycle, like when you drink water or you use it in your toilet, it doesn't just get destroyed. It goes back into the system as rain. It gets distilled, and then you can drink it again later, right? If water got destroyed, we would all be drinking dinosaur piss now or whatever, right? It is all based on the premise that human life and human happiness is zero value, and all that matters is like animal life and plant life, right? And these people absolutely are working towards a total human ban of all of nature. That's their goal. I see it happening every day. There's more and more restrictions. There's all these park fees and taxes, and they put up all this endless construction, all this endless road construction where they're doing absolutely nothing. It's all just a way of deterring people, I think, from using nature. Like, why do they have a 80-kilometer stretch of road construction when zero work is being done? It doesn't make any sense, right? Like, just just have the construction when they're actually doing construction. Like have the speed limit reductions when there's actually work in progress. They don't do that. They have this speed limit reduction all the time, and that makes absolutely no sense. And I think it's just really just a deterrence, because like it does deter people. If you can only drive like 50 on the highway, it's really frustrating and annoying, right? Okay, and yeah, I mean, I could talk a lot more about all the corrupt construction stuff too. That's another whole topic. But yeah, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? Do you think like a lot of this stuff is just totally obvious pseudoscience? Like, I'm not even going to look deeper into it. I think that's good enough. I don't think I need to do a deeper investigation.